Do you enjoy spending time with people who leave you feeling drained? I remember when my wife and I were dating, we were in a long-distance relationship, and she confided in me, she confessed after my second or third trip being here in Australia or her in America that when we parted ways, she was exhausted. Thankfully, I don't drain her anymore. She's energized by my presence most of the time. But I think you'd agree with me that we all naturally choose to spend more time with people who leave us feeling rested and energized. In his letter to the Hebrews, Paul reflected on how they had once enjoyed a homeland and a place of rest that they could call their own. He encouraged them to think back on what they had been through in their history, since God had promised to bring Abraham into the promised land of Canaan. They had gone into Egypt, been forced into slavery, spent 40 years wandering aimlessly in the desert, and then they had spent generations fighting to conquer the inhabitants of the land that they had been promised. Finally, under King David and Solomon, they secured a homeland and finally found themselves at peace. They were finally able to build a magnificent temple for the Lord in the heart of Old Jerusalem. But Paul reminded his friends that in spite of all their well-won victories, they had found little rest. How quickly they had turned from God, trampled on his Sabbath day of rest, and turned to the idols of their neighbors. They polluted the sanctuary and all that made it holy. In fact, by the time of Jesus, Roman sandals had trodden underfoot all of their beautiful land, so that their sacred nation had become one of the most troublesome places on the planet. So in his letter to the Hebrews, Paul explained that Jesus had come with the purpose of bringing peace. He wanted the people to enter into his rest by carrying his light and unburdened yoke upon their shoulders. Christ wanted them to find security in the knowledge that the Creator God had made all things. But he also desired to reveal through the sanctuary that God in Christ has secured everything in his kingdom for those who choose him. This promise of salvation is amazing. This same Jesus, our heavenly high priest, has fixed, finished, and guaranteed our deliverance. All we need to do is rest in his open, loving, welcoming arms.